So if you're a social media influencer in Dubai, you need to watch this video because things have changed when it comes to what you can and can't do with regards to the e-license issued by the National Media Council. To talk about this, I've got my colleague from Capture Accounting with me here today, Brendan. Hey, Brendan, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
So, Brendan, talk to us. What's happened with this social media e-license where the regulations have changed?
Honestly, it's like anything in Dubai. It's come out of nowhere. It's one of those regulations they've kind of tweaked in June and they've implemented it from the 1st of July. The reason why this is so important at the moment is because we obviously operate with a lot of influencers out there. So if you're getting paid for ads through brand deals that you're doing locally and you're filming locally in the UAE, then you need to register for a social media license under something called the National Media Council, okay, in Abu Dhabi. But what this means in reality is this could be an additional step you have to do once you've set up your company. It could be an additional step to get this license if you haven't got this set up correctly. And there's quite severe penalties on this too.
And this has really come out of nowhere, as you said, because we've got clearly, we work with a lot of social media influencers who've been using Dubai as a great base for them to establish themselves because it's tax-free, it's a great environment, there's a great network of other influencers there as well. It's a great place, let's face it, for creating content because it's such a beautiful environment. You've got the beach, you've got the palm trees, you've got these awesome, amazing hotels everywhere. So this is going to hit a lot of people pretty hard, right?
Oh, it certainly is. At the moment, what we're seeing is this trend of people not actually knowing this is a problem, and it's because it's come out of nowhere. It's not even spoken about out in Dubai at the moment. So it's definitely an area that I think needs more awareness, and it's definitely an area that you need to be cautious of, even if you're going in as a non-resident in the UAE. So that means if you are, let's say, a UK national and your UK tax residency is in the UK, but you're going over to Dubai to do paid promotional work on your social media, you still need a license to do that now. It's mandatory. So it's definitely something that's worth looking into. It's definitely something that you need to consider.
Wow. And why do you think the UAE authorities have brought this, have changed the rules on this?
Let's be honest, social media has taken over the world. It has in a certain way. The industry now is growing. It's astronomical. Locally in the UAE, they have a large slice of the pie. Okay, the US is obviously another big player in that, but the UAE has a big slice of the pie here. And a lot of people were traveling to the UAE, getting paid all of these thousands of pounds to be able to go and do their paid promotional work there. But then they were actually giving nothing to the UAE tax authorities. So what they've done is bring this license into play, which is about the same cost as a normal trade license, about 15,000 dirhams. And that allows them to be able to recover some costs to go into their economy.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's no surprise really that they are kind of, I guess they give you the benefit of coming to live in Dubai and be able to benefit from the 0% income tax and very low rates of corporation tax compared to other jurisdictions. So it's no surprise really they've kind of brought this other levy to take a share and a slice of the trade that's happening through Dubai. So in terms of if I'm already set up in Dubai, I'm already there, I'm already a creator, I'm an influencer, I've got my own Freezone company out of there, I'm doing brand deals, etc. through there. What do I need to watch for? Because my license includes social media. It's, that was one that's I already got that within my trade license. So does that mean I don't have to pay this additional fee, or is there something else I need to consider?
Unfortunately, there's not a one solution meets all kind of basis on this. And I've noticed diving into this, we have relationships with loads of different free zones out in Dubai. And in most cases, if you've got on your license and you've got social media influencer as an industry, it is recognized and it's meant to be that you don't have to go and get the extra license. Unfortunately, I have noticed on a few clients when I've spoken direct with free zones or with the authority figures, actually them having that on the license isn't enough and they don't comply because the free zone itself doesn't comply with the National Media Council. So that means that then you have to go and get this license on top of your existing license. To put that into perspective, in most cases you will pay about 20,000 dirhams for a license. If you have to pay the 20,000 dirhams plus an extra 15 to get your social media license on top, that's a huge cost. Okay, it's almost paying double every year what you would normally pay.
And that's an annual fee, so basically doubling your cost. So if let's say it wasn't included within my current free zone license, what's the process? What is if I wanted to kind of close down my current free zone entity and create a company in a free zone which does have that, which is approved by the NMC, how much of an ordeal is that, closing down with one free zone and setting up in another?
The actual closing down of the company or the entity is not really the problem, okay? Because you can liquidate the business, and it takes probably about 30 to 60 days, but it's quite quick. It's painless. The main problem comes if you've got visas allocated to the licenses, because what it does is it revokes those visas, which means then you have to set up your new entity in the new free zone, get a visa attached to it, and you have to go through all the headache of going to the medicals again, or paying out the extra cost to be able to get that into place. So I've also had clients that's done this, where they've swapped free zones, and the biggest problem in that pain and headache that they've had is it will get rid of your phone contracts, your tenancy agreements, everything that's associated to that Emirates ID. Doesn't mean that you can't go back and still get the same Emirates ID. You can renew it under the new license, but it is unfortunate that you will have a period of time where you'll have about 60 days from cancelling the license to be able to get your new one set up. Otherwise, your residency visa will expire, and then you will obviously fall foul of the regulations and get huge penalties out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, penalties for non-compliance, 10,000 AED.
It's always around that marker at the moment, but they actually do it on a daily basis. So they add it up depending on the day. So it really depends on the amount of days that your expiry of the residency visa has been before you've gone and got you another one. So it depends on how long that period is, because you'll just keep accruing penalties, and it can go up and up and up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's something that we found that people often overlook, and they're told, oh, well, a free zone, yeah, don't worry, just close down that one and set up one with us. But they don't realize the practical difficulties that go with having to get the health, the medicals done all over again. And like you mentioned, the phone contract, the tenancies, and all that kind of stuff, which just gets all messed up as a consequence of having to close down one and set up another. So it's always good to have a discussion around your particular circumstances, if this is something that applies to you, to see what the best way around it is. So any particular advice that you would give to someone who may be in this position, what they should do?
Yeah, I think at the moment, of course, the National Media Council, they are inundated. So, you can imagine the free zones are scrambling to find out what's going on, let alone every agent, every accountant, that's trying to go to them. So it's very difficult at the moment, but they have contact centers, they have email addresses, and they have phone numbers that you can go and call them. I would recommend speaking to them, explaining your situation, and say to them, look, am I compliant based on this? If you go and speak to them, they'll be able to tell you, and then you can make sure that you tick all the boxes so you don't fall foul of this. But the penalties is 10,000 dirham for non-compliance on this. So that's from the 1st of July as well. They haven't mentioned about a soft landing phase for this. So normally they have about a grace period, for corp tax registration. They had almost a year, it ended up being, but it was, they always have a grace period of where they won't apply the penalties, but it's definitely something you need to find out quickly. Make sure you get into place and make sure everything's set up correctly. Need any help? We're always here.
Fantastic. And that was 1st July 2024, right?
Yes, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Brendan. That's been very useful. As if you're a social media influencer and this applies to you, it's probably best to have a discussion with someone. We are happy to help you. So if this is something that you think applies to you, feel free to click on the link in the description below, book a call with us, and be happy to talk you through the process. Otherwise, hope you got value from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.